work our way through the issues that we're faced right now. You know, we've tried to engage with executive chamber to get dialogue, to get a working relationship with them. It's not there. We're not there. And I don't know the reason why. Seneca Nation has done everything in its power to try to get the governor to the table, to be a part of the dialogue. You know, when we first met with the governor back in July in regards to restarting these negotiations, you know, I told her, I said, you know, negotiators will negotiate, lawyers will do the lawyers, and the decision makers make decisions. That's her and I. We're the decision makers. We need to be at the table. We need to communicate. And I have zero communication with her since then. And, you know, we have to, this got to change. We cannot afford to draw this on anymore, drag this on. It's been 3+ years of this process of negotiating this compact, and it's going nowhere. And we need a change. We need your help. We need the legislature's help. You know, my belief is that, you know, you, the legislature, has to be at the table with us, the Seneca Nation. Because, you know, just like what we did, we engaged our people when we got into office. When I got into office, we did an initiative of getting our people together in community meetings and public to include them in this process. The way I see it, the legislature has been left out in the cold. They haven't been included in the process. And you guys are going to have to be able to vote on something that you haven't been a part of the process on, and have confidence that what you're voting on is the right thing. And we need you at the table. So, you know, those of you in the legislature out there, the Assembly, the Senate, let's work together on that. Let's try to get that moving. Let's try to get some way to get the legislature and Seneca Nation at the table along with the executive chamber to get this done, because that's where we need to be and that's where we need to go, because we're going nowhere right now. So that's my message today. And it was talked about our compact that we put together with our people, because our people are at the table with us. And we presented our compact that we had put together to the governor's office, and it was basically trashed. It was a slap in our face. It was a slap in the peoples of the Seneca Nation's face, and I'm not going to stand for it. And I'm pissed off right now about it. And I'm not going to stand for it. Our people will not stand for it, and this council will not stand for the mistreatment by the executive chamber. And we got to change it, and that's what we're going to do. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we're going to invite delegates, those of you here that want to come up and speak. You're welcome to, and make a statement. The media is here. We're going to be also doing a press conference, also releasing our economic impact study today on Seneca media to our people of the nation. And then also we'll be delivering it here at a press conference as well. Councilor Odie Porter is going to be doing that, and we'll be doing that shortly. But I want to give opportunity to anybody that wants to come on up to say something. Come on, Angela, come on up. Angela can start us off.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to speak. Mr. President, councilors, honored guests, what's important about today is to understand who the Seneca Nation is. They are a nation. They are not just interlopers who've come in and tried to take something from Western New York or the state. This is their land. It was taken from them. And unfortunately, most people do not understand. They don't understand. So the importance of these meetings and these presentations is to know who the Seneca Nation is. I'm going to comment on what our president said. The disrespect that he has explained from the executive chamber, Many, many years ago, a very wise businessman told me one day, it's always about the money. New York State has a spending problem, not a revenue problem. But when you sit here and realize that they're getting 25%, they get that amount because they asked for it and were given exclusivity. And what happened? Immediately they lost exclusivity. But the negotiations, if they drag on, they continue to get 25%. So what I'm going to tell you is this. It's about the money. It's about disrespect of the Seneca Nation. I anticipate the nation will continue to let those know, let the community know, and let citizens know. It's not just about casinos. It's about the nation pulling together and becoming a nation, staying a nation. These counselors are educated. You know, it's really funny. The government came in, both state and federal, and they took the land of those who lived here. They gave them treaties. And it seems like as soon as they realized that, the natives that they took the land from started being able to read the treaties. They wanted to change the treaties. Okay? They tried to change them to unfairness. So I ask those who are not members of the nation, but those who are guests and the press, to tell the people of the state of New York who the Seneca Nation is, what the Seneca Nation is about, what they provide to the economy of the state. We can't just look at employees. You have to look at all of the supplies that come in. Everything that you ate today, everything you drank, everything of that comes from non-native suppliers. Those non-native suppliers have employees. Those employees pay taxes. They are neighbors and they are in our community. So please, let's respect the Senecas as a nation. Let's support them and let's get a fair compact because they've lost exclusivity. So why should they keep paying for the same amount for what they're not getting? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Angelo. Anybody else? Come on. Senator? Senator George Barolo, everybody.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much for the presentation on the economic impact of the Seneca Nation. This is deeply personal for me. I have grown up with all of you. You're my friends. Some of you I've known my entire life, like Mo John. This is an important day because it's time for people to realize the Seneca Nation asks for nothing but fairness. Okay, look at the billions of dollars that have been flushed down the toilet when government tries to pick winners and losers. And here we have a winning organization, a winning team that's providing jobs, economic impact, and all they want is a fair compact. And here we sit 2-3 years down the road. It's time for this to end. It's time for us in the state legislature to say it's time for it to end. It's time for the governor to step up and do the right thing. She is a Western New Yorker. It seems like she's forgotten that from time to time here. We are here west of Syracuse. We are here with a group of people that are not only an important part of our community, but an important part of our economy here in Western New York. And it's time for that to be recognized. Enough is enough. I believe the Seneca Nation, in my opinion, should stop paying. Get a fair compact. That's the only way we're going to get a fair compact. Start from zero and let's negotiate from there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a fair compact for the Seneca Nation. Thank you so much. Nyahweh.
All right. Any other representatives want to come up? Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell, everybody.
Truly, it's an honor to be here, but, as already been said, I don't want to repeat everything, but, what Councilman Porter said is so true, 7 generations. No matter what has happened to the Seneca Nation, they are here, they are not going anywhere, they persevere, they overcome, and they survive. It's been said, the governor needs to sit down and negotiate with the longest running people of this state. They were here first. The senator and I sat here. The state of New York was born on oil and gas, the two elements that the governor wants to walk away from. We need to sit down, we need to negotiate, and it needs to be done respectfully. The best part about this is you saw, whenever I've talked to anybody, whether it's, Councilman Nephew or anyone from the Seneca Council, it's an embrace. It's not a handshake, hi, how are you? That's the feeling that I have, and that's the commitment I have. One, honoring their treaties, respecting what they have, and working with the nation. This is their land. This is their property. We need to work with them. We need to make sure that they are respected and they deserve what they have rightfully earned and rightfully have had taken away from them. Thank you so much for inviting me, and Yahweh.
All right. Anybody else? Politicians that want to come to the microphone? I don't know, Anyways. No, again, just want to thank everybody again for being here. We're going to segue into our press conference in regards to economic development. Give us a couple minutes and we'll get situated, and Councilor Porter will be delivering that.